Yeah, it's because I think what we fail is, we always use this example, and we've seen this happen, is Twitter isn't real life. Social media isn't real life. There's a significant number of people who vote and vote regularly, but they're not glued to MSNBC. They're not glued to CNN. They're not glued to Fox. They're watching Law and Order. They're watching the White Sox play Cleveland tonight. They're watching the Cubs doing whatever playing whoever they're playing.
Sweeping the White Sox.
Right. They're playing. They're playing Dungeons. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons. They're and those people do still vote, but Trump is going to be a great salacious story, but it might not necessarily take a swing voter in Indiana to the polls. But that swing voter in Indiana, understanding that healthcare is on the ballot, that providing for student lunches is on the ballot, that's maybe bringing the child tax credit is on the ballot. That oftentimes is what's going to really motivate that swing voter in Indiana or Michigan or Ohio. And so we need to go ahead and crush Trump, crush Republicans, but that should be, what would you say, less than 35% of our overall strategy, maybe 30%, especially now that Jack Smith has taken over. Let Jack Smith and Folly Willis do it, and our candidates go out and campaign, and maybe every now and then do a point and say, ha, 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 Trump, you're having some problems. But let the prosecutors do their work. Definitely exploit whatever damage the prosecutors do. But I hope that Jamie Harrison and the Biden campaign, that Trump's picadillos or problems are not really going to be at the center of our overall strategy.
John, but that's the best part about the Trump thing is it's self-feeding. It's a monster that feeds itself, and you don't have to spend much time on it. I think your 35% number is good, but I think that's much later. That's once they have a nominee, once we get into this August after post-convention, I think you start nailing your opponent. It might not be Trump, right? There's just a little bit of a thing here that he might be in jail or whatever it is, right? So I think that's when you point the focus at your opponent. But just let it feed itself right now. Fox News is talking about it. Everyday people are talking about it. You talked about swing voters, John. I am convinced that a lot of people, I don't know the percentage, I don't want to put a number on it, but I would say a good amount of people in 2020 voted for Joe Biden simply because they couldn't vote for Trump. It might have not been a Biden vote as much as it was an anti-Trump vote. Those people are now, 4 years later, going to look at everything that Biden did and look at 4 indictments for Trump and then re-sign for Trump. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Republicans have done nothing to win those voters back. And I don't distrust those voters. I don't. I distrust the Trump voters 100%. But those voters who went Trump to Biden in 2016 and 2020, respectively, I don't see any reason why they would go back to Trump. A lot of people just don't want to talk about politics, John. A lot of people don't want the president to make news every single day. And Trump, if Trump would be 4 times indicted, twice impeached, he's still talking about the 2020 election being stolen from him. Those voters, I think, are gone. They're not Democrats forever, but I don't think they're going to vote for Donald Trump again. And I think you just hammer home that message. Again, I talked about it earlier. It's look at everything we've done and look at the other side. The choice is pretty clear. And I think those voters get it.